All right, let's give this a go. Well, that's fun. Hey, it's Tim, and let's talk cars. In this video, I'm going to give you my top 5 good things and not so good things about this 2024, give my numbers right, Mercedes-Benz CLA 250 4Matic. All the terminology we have for the car. So let's go and get started on the likes first, then we'll run off with the dislikes. Okay, let's start with the likes. The likes are, I like the way it looks. It is a sharp little car, and those that know me from the truck channel know I'm a sucker for blue. I always buy blue trucks when I can. And this really pops, especially with the atmosphere here and the cloudy skies. And I just like the way it looks. I think it looks pretty darn cool. Lots of cool little features, like the crystal kind of right in there. And yeah. And then this one, second thing I like is the tires. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about how I don't like them at certain times, but these are an AMG sport tires, and they're 19 inches. And they look really good. It just complements the whole look. This is nighttime package too, so the package with the tires, the blue, the styling, big fan. That's like 1, 2, whatever combination. The third thing I like is how much storage room there is. This thing is crazy. My son asked me, he goes, "How much room's back here, Dad?" And I'm like, wow. I was like, I didn't think very much. And all of a sudden it's like, wow, my golf bag fits all the way back there, no problem. I had groceries back in here, and I actually had to use the old ice scraper trip to get the groceries from all the way back in there. So you have quite a bit of storage room back there, which is really impressive for a small little coupe. I was not thinking it'd have that much storage. Okay, the fourth thing I like about it is I like how solid everything feels. Big sucker for fit and finish, big sucker for things shedding correctly. And this thing just feels solid. That's the fourth thing I really like about it. We'll get to some driving stuff as additional likes. The fifth thing I like, I like everything about the interior. I like this big screen, but it doesn't look like it doesn't interfere, excuse me, with driving. It seems like it's tucked away. I just like how everything's laid out, and it just looks good inside the cabin. Big fan of that. And okay, I'm gonna give you a bonus one as well as driving impressions. My butt feels good. My butt's a big deal on the other truck channel, and I make a big deal about trucks having terrible seats. This one's got some pretty nice seats in it, pretty comfortable. I've been driving around all week without butt pain. Big deal. All right, let's get the things I don't like about it. Okay, starting with number one thing I don't like about it, and this is just sedans overall, I think. In this case, even worse, is how low this is to get into. I'm lowering my camera right now. Look at this is my kneecap, and my kneecap is above the lowest seat. This is like my ankle down here. We're talking, you know, a foot, maybe 1.5 feet. How low that is. I mean, it just, over time, it gets a little annoying to hop in and out of this car being that low to the ground. So that's the first thing. I love the fact how low it is to the ground. Okay, number two thing I don't really love about this is gonna be right here, and I'll show you. Yeah, not really a great exhaust note. We'll get more of this in the driving impressions, but it does get offset by the engine. But overall, God, it should sound cooler. Okay, the third thing I don't like, now that I'm in the cabin, again, sitting on low, is I don't love this big A-pillar and blocking my view. I know it's got an airbag built into it. We need to have it a little bit thicker, but I've seen thinner on different SUVs and trucks and things, and it does block your view a little bit looking out those sides. So you have decent visibility here where they've kind of cut out around the window and you can see around the mirror, but overall, it's like, why does it gotta be so big? It almost feels like it should be a convertible, to be honest with you. The way the roof line is, it just seems like it's more convertible. It seems like that's why you need a thick A-pillar there, but yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on there. Okay, fourth thing I don't like, let me think, I think I'm at 4. It's just gonna be overall like layout here. So you see my wallet, you see the Yeti cup I have. I'm gonna put my phone. My phone goes all the way back in here to the wireless charger, and then I have this little pad here, and I have little bitty storage there. But I guess my point of view on this is like, I'd rather have my phone here and a little storage there than I would the other way around. It just seems not seems awkward to me. Or like build in the charger here like you see in GM vehicles. You know, it just seems like it's just a weird layout for stuff, and you have to reach under this, over your cup, around to get to your, yeah, it seems a little bizarre to me. So those are the 4 things here inside the cabin. Outside the cabin I don't love about this. We'll get to the 5th thing as we hit the road. Okay, now on the open road with this Mercedes-Benz CLA 250, yeah, I did it right. There's a couple like pros and cons. So the first pro is that it is pretty quick. It just moves. I have a tight speed limit here, but driving around is fun. You can whip around corners. It handles pretty well for my type of driving. I'm not a race car driver. I don't tend to be one. And for my needs, it handles well and is pretty powerful as far as fun. Now, they do make another version of this, the CLA 45S, which has got quite a bit more horsepower and torque, which would be even more fun to drive. That kind of makes me sad to say that. I'm not in that version. Oh well. This one's plenty. You know, I think around town, in the city, even here in the country, it's plenty. I mean, it's not like something you write home about, but it's a good, solid powertrain in this. I do have the con, as you've heard, was the exhaust note. We talked about that. But also, some of the cons to this on the open road is you get a lot of road vibrations. Like if you hit like potholes or breaks into concrete, you do feel those quite a bit. I have to be a little more careful driving this around because of those skinny profile tires and the way the suspension is set up. You do feel it. It's jarring at times, I should say. I think you get used to it, but for me, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. I don't want to hit that too hard because I know I'm going to feel it in the cabin. I would also say another con would be that I'm surprised how loud it is in the cabin. I mean, it's just, I expected it to be a lot quieter, not a lot less road vibration, and I hear a lot of that stuff, so that's a little bit of a con for me. I just, you know, everybody talks to me anymore about cars and trucks and they want smooth, quiet, powerful. I would say this is pretty smooth, fairly powerful, and not so much quiet as I'd expect from a Mercedes-Benz car. Yeah, that wraps that up nice and neatly. Put a bow on it and done. Ha! Hey, for more check-in videos over here, also check in the description down below. Lots of links to cool stuff that you need to check out. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you down the road.